Okay, no more of that kind of talk.
No way.
You're not ready yet.
I'm ready.
Oh, well, you were just so quiet. I was
messing
worried.
around, but we can get a little bit of, hang on. Yeah, this is some intro music that we won't get sued for. It's like a 4-track demo. Hits like this. This is an emergency. We got you. I promise they won't sue us, and if they do, we'll just.
Do you want to name
what?
The band.
Oh, that wasn't a band. That was Mark and Jim fucking around in the studio. All right, it was Fiji covering a Mark and Jim song, but yeah, here we are. We just had a guest last week. Mark got a little messed up. He was a little concerned that he was not his true self, and I said both ways that I don't know what you're talking about. So I'll have to listen. I usually don't listen to the episodes. I just do the write-ups off memory.
Wow.
I'm kidding. I do, but I have been listening. I've been doing the write-ups with it at least 1.5 times speed, sometimes 2 times, so I don't really get everything. And there's 2 episodes ago. I never listened to it after it came out, so that's why the numbers are so low. I could add 1. I realized I got tired of our own podcast.
Ouch.
Well, you edit it. It's like what you say. By the time it comes out, you're like, oh, I'm done with this. I'm over it.
No, I mentioned that it seems like I'm around you way too much during the week because I'm listening to the podcast all the time. It's not the podcast that gets on my nerves.
What's it like to have a heart on that whole week? That's got to really take its toll on your trousers.
It does.
Is that why you wear shorts a lot?
Exactly.
Okay, makes sense. A little relief valve down south.
Yeah.
Down by the knee region. Ascertainers, like it or not, welcome aboard. It's only a 3-hour tour. It's actually only 40-some minutes. Don't worry. You don't even need a light lunch. You can eat when you get back. So there.
That was our whole intro?
Who are you? Well, no, I mean, I'm going to try to talk less because you're so comfortable talking after the last episode.
I thought we discussed this. I am not comfortable talking.
Well, but it's a podcast, Mark. You can't, it's not the Ascertainer.
I do a lot of facial expressions. Shouldn't that be enough?
I think it's plenty, but the people at home, we don't have smell-o-vision yet, so they can't tell those things. So why don't you tell people who you are and why you decided to have a podcast?
Wow, that's a lot of questioning.
You can edit yourself out. Just humor me right now.
Hi, I'm Mark, and I'm on the Ascertainers with my partner, Jim. Why don't you introduce yourself, Jim?
Hi, I'm Mark. I fucked it up. Here we go. I'm Jim. Mark talked me into this, and I went willingly. But we're pushing 90 episodes now. We have a guest for our 100th. We're going to get the writers of our theme music to come on, Alex and Paul.
Nice.
And maybe some of the other fellers from the band. But those were the 2 I think that were mostly involved in the live recording of the what you get to hear at the beginning of each episode.
Not what you play, but our theme music, our official theme music.
Oh, which is probably played by now, I would think.
Yeah, but we played something else.
Yes, we played another. We gave you a little appetizer, as some say. So here we are, episode, I think 88. Would that be the Alan Page episode? So 88 was Alan Page, right? Carl Eller was 81.
Correct.
All Vikings fans of our age.
Jim Marshall was 70.
70.
Doug Sutherland was 69, dude.
Who was it Gary Marshall, 77? Is there a Gary Marshall? Or is that the guy that wrote Laverne and Shirley?
Are you confusing Jim Marshall with...
Jim Marshall was 70.
Right, but
was it Sutherland? No, you just said Sutherland.
Sutherland was 69.
Okay. Mick Tingelhoff, was he was like 53, though. He had a weird number, didn't he?
Yeah, he was the center.
Okay. And there was Jeff Seaman.
And Fred Cox with the old saying.
Oh, what was the old saying?
When Cox goes in, Seaman comes out.
Holy crap. How did I live my whole life without knowing that? But now it makes total sense.
Oh, and we brought up Bob Lertzema. He was a defensive end. But the person you were referencing was Ron Yeri.
What do you think?
Yeah, because he's a Hall of Famer, but he got caught holding all the time.
Well, you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, right?
But today they hold nonstop. You can bear hug them.
Well, I wouldn't want to be a ref in the NFL because there's shit going on every play.
Well, I have to bring up. Is that proper English?
No, totally. All of a sudden. I mean, that's how things, the language evolves. It's a living document, Mark.
But you have done very well in our football pool. You have cleaned up.
So there was a guy named Gary Larson.
Yes, Gary Larson. You said...
Oh, I said Gary Marshall.
Yeah.
Totally different. I think Gary Marshall was 77.
I think Gary Larson was the original Purple People Eater.
Yep, it was... I'm looking at him right now. Oh, my God. Gary Marshall was Gary Larson was very... He's the guy who did The Far Side, wasn't it?
It was. Gary Larson.
How about that? Who knew? So big and gentle.
Nice.
His face mask is comically... He looks like if you were going to draw a caricature of a football helmet. That's what number 77, Gary Larson. Then you got 81, Carl Eller, who also played Julius Wingate in Pulp Fiction. No, anyway, they bear some similarities with him. He and Sam Jackson.
I've never noticed that.
You don't get that?
I don't.
Then Justice Alan Page, and then old Wrong Way Jim Marshall. We're from Minnesota.
You're going the wrong way.
How does he know where we're going? Anyway, so we are from Minnesota, born and bred, I guess. I'm not sure. Maybe I might be a vacation baby. I don't know, but I think I was bred in Minnesota. Is that what that means?
Oh, no, it had something to do with food, I thought.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Thank you.
Yep, that's probably it. In that case, put me down for a sourdough. And tonight we're going to talk. We're technically a music podcast, although we really just talk about whatever the hell we want. Our goal, really, the whole time was to just keep us off the streets, and also though to give just some people to listen to kind of get them away from their whatever they were doing. We put our episodes out on Fridays, hoping that somebody had if you had a great week, you'll enjoy it, or if you had a crappy week, it'll get your mind off the crappiness of the week. Because next week's a new week, and maybe you'll kick some ass next week if you didn't kick the amount of ass that you had budgeted for this week.
You are the next Tony Robbins? Is that his name?
I think you're thinking the Tiger. The Tiger. I get, the only thing that messes me up at work is I get caught between kicking ass and taking names, and sometimes I get the order wrong, and it's otherwise had a pretty good week. We live in a great country. We got a lot going for us. There's a lot of people in this world that would trade places with the Ascertainers. I'll tell you that. Billions of them.
Joe Rogan, Smartless, all those.
I think Joe Rogan. I think after he got over the intimidation part, I think he'd fit right in down here. What we should do is we should see if he wants to pack up his podcast and come up here. Because apparently that's what one of our presidents... Oh, wait, we're not political. You better cut that part out. We just had an election, and the country is still standing. Miracle of miracles. And I bet it'll be still standing in 4 years. We won't be. Do you think we'll be doing this podcast in 4 years?
Yes.
You do?
Because we like to torture ourselves. And the listening audience.
Have you seen my cholesterol levels and stuff? Sure, actually, fine. I have to go get, I got to go see all the team of doctors that keeps me upright. I think they're going to tell me to lose some weight. I don't know why. I'm just big boned.
Right.
I wear loose clothing. You can't tell what I got going under there. Although they make me take it off. And I know. The music is a little much. I thought the same thing. Is that what happens at your doctor? Or when he's doing the prostate exam, and then all of a sudden I see both his thumbs out of the corner of my eyes and go, ta-da! That's not fun. I don't think that's covered by insurance.
I came in here for a cold. What the heck?
For a cold? You're to the doctor for a cold, you say. Tell my doctor it hurts when I do this. And he goes, well, stop doing that. And then he sends me a bill for like $1,000. That's bullshit. Okay, so we're not just your everyday podcast. We do have a sponsor, and for now, I think we might be on thin ice with our sponsor.
I don't think so.
He said he wants to cut the sponsorship in half, and since the beer I drink costs more than the one you drink, I think he wants to cut me out. In which case, I will say it was a good run. Thanks, Corey. We'll let you reconsider that, but meanwhile, thanks for the memories, and. Yeah, Mark will enjoy his Coors Light. I might take a sip just when you're not looking, just to act like I have a sponsorship still too. But
well, I didn't get my food, so he sent a clear and direct message to me also tonight.
Yeah, you better fucking start acting right. I know. So anyway,
and I said I could go anywhere else, and he goes, "Okay."
He did. The guy next to you was like, "Geez, he didn't even put up a fight." he had like stuff written down in advance, like you'll like this place. They have a meat-free option. They have a good squid bar and stuff like that. But what is Newt's?
Newt's is your Apple Valley establishment premier burger,
cold beer,
popcorn. Jim did a little.
No, I try to do 2 words for everything. So it's Apple. Let me run through it, then we can try to do it. So we'll teach you this, and we'll teach everybody listening this too. It would say Newt's is Apple Valley's premier, and then juicy burger, ice cold beer, fresh hot popcorn, always hot Pulltab box, Emporium.
So you said 2 words. You were doing 3.
I said a bunch of words. I lied. I'm living a lie. Everybody got that yet? Have you gone to Newt's? I mean, by the time it took you to listen to this, you probably should be on your way to Newt's right now.
Is it fun listening to us practice our promos on the air?
We've been practicing this podcast for 80-some episodes, and our listenership is skyrocketing. All right, I can't even fucking say that. You can't see me, but I'd be lying. We're slumping.
Yeah, we are.
We go in fits and starts, and also...
Where's that saying come from?
I don't know, but it sounds like a Siegfried and Roy kind of fits and starts. Hey, we saw the 8 o'clock show. If the shoe fits. Anyway.
Snot and puke.
Sometimes, what's that?
From the Renaissance.
Is it not puke and snot?
Way to correct me.
There's one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't know. I don't go to the Renaissance Fair. I'm the kind of loser that I want to be. I'm not that kind of loser. And everybody I know that goes to those, they know that I look down on them.
I've been. I don't go religiously.
I'd probably enjoy.
It's fun.
Is it fun? You got to park. You got to go in a bunch of traffic. You got to park a mile away. You got to walk around in the dirt. You got to eat a chicken leg. Oh, the chicks have. They do the
bustier type
medieval boob lift.
Yeah.
Isn't that a singer? Michael Booblift, is that his name? Anyway, yeah, it's not worth it. I got the internet. I can look up that shit without having to get my toes dirty.
Internet,
it's a thing.
Huh?
It's not. You don't have it where you live, but we have it down here.
Cool.
So anyway, fuck we get on that?
Newt's.
Yeah. Oh my God, we're in the middle of the Newt's promo again, and I drifted off. Well, you should go to Newt's, and I don't know how we got to the Renaissance Fair from there. I had the chicken bacon ranch sandwich tonight, delicious. Tater tots, a little mustard on a tater tot. It's like a vegan corn dog. That's what it tastes like. Not that I've ever had one, but it tastes like a corn dog without the dog. Dog free. We're dog free. Thank you. Nope, not going to do it. Everybody knows what I want to say. I'm not going to say it. So, would you recommend Newt's?
I would.
Good. Well, so will I.
We did get to talk to Corey, and we had some people we knew there.
Yeah.
That we were able to.
Amy appreciated the shout out.
Yeah, she did.
And then we have another neighbor, Jeff. We have a lot of Jeffs in our orbit. And then neighbor Bruce was there as well. And Mark and I made quick work of the Pulltab booth. And we doubled our money and got out. And then Jeff,
which was very interesting for Jim to do.
Yeah, usually I don't do that, but I'm working on being a better version of me.
Do you have an issue? Do you need the powder or anything?
Oh, I'm itching my leg.
Oh, yeah.
I do have an issue. I think I have to go to I know I have to go to the dermatologist because I've got like this thing on my leg. It's fine. It's no, but they gave me some stuff to put on it. They put on it.
Should I not be sitting in any chairs?
I wouldn't touch my leg. I'll tell you that right now. That's why I'm wearing long pants. I'm wearing several pairs of long pants, and that's why I look like I'm a little bigger. You think I'm fat. I'm just wearing a few pair of pants.
You should wear those plastic pants.
Oh, like wrestlers wear to cut weight? I should wear that over my whole thing.
No, just so the lotion can work better.
Lotion never had a chance. I'm getting my lotion from fucking STP, from Lucas Oil. You know what I mean? We're talking a lot of friction, a lot of RPM. Yeah, it's impressive in its sadness. Really comes down to it. You want to play the radio game, Mark?
Yeah, that'd be great.
It's a little something we do. Oh crud! I gotta find a new band though because. All right, I'll just do this one, just to pitch. No, I'm doing this one. Okay, radio game. Little game we devised a while back, and we've monetized it because we're just easily bored. But there's a local radio station called KQRS. They've been playing the same music since Mark and I were in high school. What we do is we each put out there 4 bands, and the hopes that when we listen to this little miniature earbud thing we have, for copyright purposes only,
wow, I like that
voice. We want to guess what band is playing on KQ at the time that after we've set declared our bands. So usually we pick 2 that are kind of more known and then 2 that are maybe a little obscure just to make it interesting and to make sure nobody wins. I think I'm the most recent winner, or are you?
No, you are.
Okay. I've won twice. Mark's won twice.
Yes.
Yes. So this is the rubber. Every week is a rubber.
Why put a question mark on my victories compared to yours? I don't know, but go ahead.
Did I?
You said, and you've won twice?
No, I wasn't positive if you'd won twice. Do you remember who your bands were that you won with?
Black Sabbath, but I can't remember the other one. I'm sorry.
Zeppelin, wasn't it?
Could have been.
I won on Billy Squire and Styx.
I am not going to win tonight.
Okay. Nice attitude. Did you turn the jukebox on yet?
Not yet.
I got her.
Why don't you name your legacy bands?
I'm going with Eric Burden.
So you get the Animals.
And I think some war songs.
Yes.
Okay. And then I'm going to go with Tom Petty.
I'm going to go with Pink Floyd because it's with another pick I have tonight. Not this one. I'm going to go with Boston.
Boston it is. All right. I'm going to go with, I was going to go Billy Idol, but I have to replace that with the Kinks. And then I'm going to go with Crocus. I have 2 songs that get played on KQ over the years. Screaming in the Night and Midnight Maniac. So what do you got?
I'm going to go with Frigid Pink.
Okay.
They do 2 covers. They were kind of big in the early 70s. House of the Rising Sun and Tobacco Road. Those were their 2 big.
Really?
Yeah. They did 2 covers.
Who did House of the Rising Sun was the Animals otherwise, and then Tobacco Road. Who sang that?
Wow. A lot of people sang it. I don't know who.
Yeah, it's like a blues standard, right? Okay.
And then Dwight Twilley Band. I'm on fire.
So we're all accounted for?
Yes.
I'm now listening, and it's Loverboy. Loverboy, not too far off of the 1979 that we're going to talk about in a sec. Loverboy is the band that nobody wants to admit that they like, but everybody likes Loverboy. It's like Sara Lee Coffee Cake of bands. And from the looks of it, that singer has maybe bought stock in the Sara Lee company. He's bigger than me. Oh. Yeah, Mike Reno, big cat right there. And he hung out with Ann Wilson from Heart. They had I forget what the name of it. They had a duet.
Oh, I was going to say something.
Those two have had various. They look like the before and after pictures all through their lives. Sometimes they're skinny, sometimes they're big. It's a struggle. Struggle's real. I feel you, Mike Reno.
They're like the who's that actor?
What's he in? Give us a hint.
I can't even think of it.
You gave up on that. Your body language. I mean, you got so far from your mic, you're like, oh, get me out of this. Is this what you were talking about last week where you felt like, oh, you just didn't have it? Or what was it that you were? Because you were talking so much that you were like...
No, I was interjecting just at the wrong times, off subject, and it was just...
That's what I do.
Yeah, but you do it...
I don't feel bad about it ever.
You do it playfully, and it's cute when you do it.
Okay, well, what is the actor? Orson Welles?
21 Jump Street.
Oh, Seth... no. Jonah Hill.
Yes.
Ah!
Thank
How about
you.
that other guy? He's a real treat for the eyes, isn't he?
Yeah, he could make the list, I think.
Channing Tatum or Stockard
Yeah.
Channing, one or the other. Stockard Channing was in Grease. She played a 45-year-old high school student, very believably, I thought. And, Rizzo was late. I don't know that, to me, it seems like if you get your time of the month, it's got to be bad. If you get it when you're late, there's got to be some like build-up involved. And then you're on a fucking merry-go-round. That would be horrible. She was so happy.
Wow.
Doing
That went to places we should not venture to.
I think we're going to get rid of that part. One could say, just get rid of it. Anyway, I'm not going to use a different word for that.
What?
No way, man. We're not political.
Do you have any errors or...
All I can say is that I feel bad that when we have a guest on who's never been on before...
Sorry, Jeff.
We agreed after Mark and I kind of gave ourselves the post-mortem. And it's just not fair to the guest to think that they're just going to kind of just chime in and go with the flow. We need to have a little more structure and kind of pull them out a little bit as just ask some questions to get them talking a little, and then it can evolve into whatever. But yeah, I think we ask too much of our guests when they're on for the first time.
We should be more like Jimmy Carson.
Jimmy Carson?
Yeah, Jimmy. No, I was going to say
great.
Like Carson, not like Jimmy Fallon.
Right. Oh, that hurts. That hurts so bad because it's true. Yeah, sorry. My hatred for Jimmy Fallon has just grown exponentially. Seth Meyers, he's a real fucking
I've never watched
ray
him.
of sunshine. I, for some reason, I think he's on after something. Like if I fall asleep, I wake up and Seth Meyers is on. I'm like, oh, it's usually pretty one-sided.
Do you remember back in the day, you'd fall asleep, you'd wake up, and they're playing the
National Anthem.
Yeah.
Or Static. Poltergeist. I watched a lot more of Mr. Rogers documentaries that I thought were ever made this week. So I get to pick the movie one night because Chris picked just a shitbag movie. It wasn't terrible because you got to see Jennifer Lawrence with no clothes on. But it wasn't in a sexy way. She was like fighting someone on a beach. So, I mean, if you're into that, I got a movie for you. But overall, the movie was a little bit felt like an airplane movie, like opened on planes.
Money grab.
Yes. I thought is that what you call that? I thought it was
I'm not even going to let you in on what he mouthed to me.
I mouthed him. So anyhow, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I've always wanted.
That's not a documentary.
No, that's a movie with Tom Hanks, and a darn good one too. I will say, I will recommend a movie right here. This is just Jim's endorsement, not that of the whole Ascertainers corporate enterprise, but you just feel good.
Yeah, you do. I have seen
Mr.
that.
Rogers was like too good to be true, but then you watch these documentaries, and he was really that. You just the value of just taking an interest in a person and just giving them your undivided attention, and just acknowledging that as they are a cool fucking person. Priceless.
It's kind of sad that we're so jaded that we don't really think that there could ever be someone like that. And I believe he truly was like that.
I do too. You can act that role, or you can just be. That can be your whole. And based on the people he had around him for many, many years, they swear by it. So anyway, if you're tired, after you've listened to 7 or 8 Ascertainers episodes and you feel like you need a little palate cleanser, check that out. Or any of the other Mr. Rogers documentaries that are out there. They're pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, it's like taking a shower. Clean yourself up. Watch something good.
Taking a
and
what now?
wholesome. A shower.
What is that? We bathe in this house. We just one tub for the week. We try to save the environment. You sick, twisted freak. You take showers and waste that water. Then we make soup out of what's left. We make chili, award-winning chili out of that bath water.
Oh, man.
Actually, I don't think my chili has any water in it. I think it's just tomatoes. There might be some water in it. Anyway, you want to talk about 1979 albums?
Oh, I was going to bring up Errors and Omissions. I was going to say that Lawrence Welk was a established musician and knew a lot about music, but his peers did not respect him, and they badmouthed him. That's where I got that he wasn't.
Okay. Well, because you figure he probably is hiring the best, like the wrecking crew of that type of music, right? Where you can get the best and the brightest of the players of said instruments.
Right, but he wasn't going to be asked to do the New York Symphony, be a conductor there. He wasn't respected enough to be in his line.
So he was like Mick Mars from Motley Crue.
Wow.
Everybody liked him, but nobody respected him.
Yes.
There you go. Sorry, Mick.
Sorry, Lawrence. Well, you're dead, so okay. You can't sue us.
Is he? How? What did he die of? He just died in your arms tonight. If you're not a stand-up comedy fan, Kyle Kinane, I'll put a little at the end of this, the write-up for this episode. I'll put a Kyle Kinane.
You're not going to do like a YouTube or anything.
No, it'll be
That's what I mean. You're
going to a link to a video. Thank you for helping to flesh that complete idea out there.
I do have one more thing.
Yeah.
Did you know American Woman? We make fun of the Guess Who once in a while. Was made up on stage.
Really?
Yeah.
Talk to me.
In a concert in 70. But anyways, they were on stage and they just came up with the whole song.
Were they, because they're a Canadian band, if I'm not mistaken, were they playing a show in the States?
Randy recalled it at being a concert in Kitchener, although Burton Cummings said it was at the Broom and Stone curling rink in Scarborough.
The Broom and Stone. Oh, yeah.
Bachman was playing notes while tuning his guitar, and he realized he was playing a new riff, and they continued playing it. And then everyone came on stage, and they made up the song.
Live on stage. With the crowd or sound check?
They didn't say if they were letting people in at the time or not. It's a curling club. People were curling probably and just wandering around aimlessly.
You haven't lived till you've seen the Guess Who at a curling rink facility. Have you ever been to Memory Lanes in Minneapolis?
No.
It's a bowling alley, and they set up a stage.
I kind of figured that.
Well, no, thanks. No, it's not. It's a funeral home. Anyway, funeral home, off-track betting. No, but they take and they put like a stage over, like in the middle of the fucking bowling lanes. So there are people bowling, and picture if there were like 10 lanes, right? And they got like 20, let's say 20 lanes. But on the, 10th, 11th, and 12th lane, they put this stage out there, and Al's played that before, and it's very novel.
Can I blame my poor bowling game on the music?
Of course you can. There were no real... This is like nighttime drunk bowling.
So the bumpers were in?
I think that's, up to the bowler's preference.
Okay.
I don't want to, get between a man and his bumper. But, yeah. So, I wish I didn't lose my train of thought. So, we were talking about Bachman-Turner Overdrive. I saw a thing. It was Randy Bachman and Burton Cummings. They were on it was almost like a podcast. It was because those two, and I feel like Burton Cummings was like interviewing Randy Bachman, and Randy Bachman thinks that the best song he ever written was She's Come Undone. Are you familiar?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that one.
Well, they played it with Randy Bachman on the acoustic guitar, and then Burton Cummings is singing it, so it's a real kind of unplugged version. And then he goes Ron Burgundy and pulls out the flute and nails a flute solo.
Wow.
Burton Cummings. I mean, back then, the flute is to the 70s what the saxophone was to the 80s. Take a minute and just deal with that.
I'll need more than a minute.
You never hear a flute anymore, and you never hear a saxophone. The saxophone's almost been shunned, and now it's just keyboards, I guess. Because
the keyboards kind of ruined it for everything because they could mimic a lot of that sound.
I can't wait to get a keyboard that sounds like you. And then it'll just be the ascertainer at that point. And then AI will take over all of it, and we'll just be on the outside looking in.
It's a keyboard that's broke.
So we're thinking the same thing. Okay, good. You know a guy?
I do know a guy.
Okay. So, you want to know what we're going to try to do tonight? We're going to try to talk about some 1979 albums, and then we're going to go and either do another episode tonight. We haven't done this in a very long time, 2 episodes in a night. But the reason we are is because tonight, in recorded time, is that what it would be like to us in real time right now as Mark and I are talking? Mike Tyson's going to be fighting that Jake Paul guy, and we want to watch it, but we think they're going to just drag it out, so we could probably get 2 episodes in.
Yeah, time and space is different for me.
How so?
Well,
how would you know? How would you know? I mean, you don't know what. We just assume that everybody sees the same shit that we see when they're looking at it. How's that for a pot brownie kind of a fucking statement?
I feel like in the 4th dimension, when you catch up, they'll be all right.
How many are there?
Well, in the 5th dimension, there were 5, I believe.
I was kind of trying to yawn. I was almost popped my ears out of the thing there, trying to laugh.
And your shoulders went really high, too.
No, that's just, I have no neck anymore. I've lost the ability to neck. So anyway, the Newts, the radio game. Let's just start talking a little bit about 79, and then we'll wrap it up, and we'll just kind of tease the topic. Oh, and the other thing is I won't be able to record next week because I'm going to do some undercover stuff that you can't know about. Nobody can.
Oh, I know.
What's that mean?
You took me out. You killed me because I know about it.
What did I get you with a garden hose? Do it again.
No, you hit me right in the forehead.
To spray you off with the
easy
with a water balloon with what looks like a hose, but it's really not. All right. I thought 1978 was an unbeatable year for albums, and because in my head, in about 1980, everything kind of started really sliding, going downhill. Yes, Mark?
Since we don't have much time, maybe we should do 1980.
I didn't do anything for 80. Did you?
There's nothing you could have done for 80.
Really?
Nothing can save 80.
All right, well, here, I've got 80. Oh, High Infidelity, solid. We're skipping a year here. We're going to close this episode out because we're going to do a whole episode of 1979 because there's so many good albums. 1980 had, do you want to call it dog shit, or do you want to?
It was the beginning of the end for our type of classic rock music, to me.
I'm
not saying that the stuff that came afterwards was bad. I'm just saying that for me, it was a downswing in music.
Yeah, I'm going up down the list here, and I agree.
Although I do have some great ones.
Well, now would be the time, don't you think?
I'll start with, which would be Jim's #1 album, Xanadu.
Olivia Newton-John?
Yeah, because you were a Grease fan.
Was it with John Travolta, or was it?
I just thought, for sure, if Grease was so great, Xanadu's got to be even better.
That song is going to be stuck in my head.
We heard it in the car tonight, and you didn't hear it, did you?
No.
Xanadu, would I want to be blue with you? I don't know.
That's Waterloo, you goof. Xanadu is totally different.
Oh, is it?
Xanadu. Don't make me sing. My agent doesn't want me to sing on this podcast.
Was Waterloo in the movie Xanadu?
I don't believe so. It was a fucking ABBA. ABBA is Waterloo.
Oh.
We'll listen to that later.
Let's get serious, folks. Dire Straits.
Making movies.
It has your favorite, Romeo and Juliet.
I do like that song quite a bit.
Skate Away.
How about Jay Giles' Love Stinks?
Yeah, that's on my list.
So it's not that bad, but it's still... Ooh-wee. The Ram ones... Oh, Ramones. Sorry, I read it wrong again.
You know, back to Dire Straits, there's a song on there that's just the epitome of Dire Straits. It's called Les Boys. LES Boys. It's a very good tune.
You like their kind of...
I like their sound.
You like their B-side kind of obscure shit stuff. Blizzard of Oz, I thought was a phenomenal album with Crazy Train. And that's all I can say from it. But And then the second album, Diary of a Madman, Ozzy solo, solid record, but that was a couple years later.
And both of those had Randy Rhoads, correct?
Yes.
And then he perished.
He didn't perish. He crashed a plane. But you think he was flying it or somebody else was?
Well, they were buzzing the house after a long tour. Yeah, and it was a bad scene. But Jay Giles Love Stings. Phenomenal.
Real good album. Very fun. Different. A lot of horns. Who was the horn player for Jay Giles' band? Magic Dick. That's what they billed him as. Rush Permanent Waves. Sorry, this is not a Rush podcast, but it made the number 8 on this list. So that's how bad of a year it was for music that people like.
Would you review that as one of their better albums?
That's one of my favorite, yes.
Okay.
There's a run of Rush albums. Permanent Waves has Limelight, excuse me, Free Will, Spirit of Radio, and Cygnus X1. Those are hard to mock songs. There's only like 5 on the whole album because there's a couple longer pieces.
Okay, here's one. Going to talk about this band in '79 also, Back in Black.
What's on my screen right now?
Yeah.
Back in Black was...
How they reinvented themselves.
It sucks that... Well, actually, it's interesting. So I've always found that I like to say my favorite AC/DC is Highway to Hell, which was put out in 1979. And then their singer dies. And a year later, they put out Back in Black with a new singer.
It's amazing.
I don't even know what word that is. That's crazy. So, like, they were at their peak with that singer, and then they just put out another album, like their best-selling album.
And people didn't blink an eye. Usually people go, oh, like with Van Halen. It took a while for people to warm up to Sammy. A lot of them never did. But when Brian Johnson came in, people said, oh.
Because it's good songs, man. People look past a lot if you have good songs. I'm not saying that Van Halen 5150 didn't have good songs on it, but the shoes were pretty big to fill as far as, other, like, I think Fair Warning or Women and Children came out by Van Halen in 1980, and it was, I think, a pretty dog shit record. Women and Children first. I think it had Unchained on it. They had like one hit, and then like hardcore Van Halen fans were like, oh.
A lot of the albums, well, every year in the top will only have maybe 1 or 2 hits. Not in the top 10, but lower on the list.
Well, that you'd recognize, I would say, as a hit. I had some other stuff. High Infidelity by REO. Little soft, but you could sit with a girl and listen to High Infidelity. I mean, that was
so you never heard it.
They would. Well, why? Where this is recorded?
That was very mean.
Hurtful. It was hurtful. You haven't said hurtful in a while.
Well, you've been very kind.
I thought
lately.
It used to be like remember that Groucho Marx show when somebody would say the magic word and
it dropped down, the bird?
A duck or something would fall down from the ceiling?
Like a rubber chicken or something.
I thought whenever you said hurtful, I'm waiting for something to fall from the ceiling. But High Infidelity, you could get more girls to sit with you listening to that than Rush Permanent Waves,
Or Dire Straits. They're both bands that didn't bring in the female crowd.
That's a guy's band. Yeah, for sure. I just thought of something, for sure.
For sure, totally.
I just thought of something. Rush has two albums out of their like 17 or whatever that have PW as the initials of the name of the album.
Wow, this is getting deep.
Power Windows and Permanent Waves. I mean, that's a thing, right? I mean, I got to go see what the signs are.
Wow.
I got to go get my Neil Peart dice out and shake them against my...
Here's the last one on my list. Bob Seger, Against the Wind.
That's what Tim Walz had in his cassette deck in his car that he talked about when he was on.
Really?
Yeah. Because, I had an old Nova or whatever it was, and it was Against the Wind. I'm just like, so first thing I do, what do you think the first thing I do when you said that? Date check it. Make sure, was that album even fucking out yet? But it was, so.
It has Horizontal Bop.
That sounds like Poison.
It's a very...
Oh, do you think it refers to fornication?
I don't think so. I thought it was like a
dance.
dance.
Up and down, right? Oh, wait.
It was a dance move.
The Horizontal Bop.
You'll Accompany Me.
Good song.
Fire Lake.
Prior Lake? Who wants to go to Fire Lake?
Is that like the river Styx? Yeah,
I gotta tell you, that's a pretty good song. Because I remember he's talking about Uncle Joe. He was the one afraid to like Cut the Cake or whatever, which I think was a reference to he didn't want to get married.
Oh.
I mean, that's a 10th grade Jim Ascertainer. Came up with that one. He was a pretty good songwriter.
Her Strut. I didn't like that one, but it was a big hit.
Love to See Her Strut.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
And Betty Lou.
Getting Out Tonight. I had the Pretenders on there. I can't name any of the songs on it, but I think it's going to be like Brass in Pocket and that old Pretenders. And if you ever want to look up a band that had a lot of people die of drugs, the Pretenders, believe it or not, lost a lot of members to the needle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like a lot.
I got a couple other, Pete Townsend, Empty Glass, that had Rough Boys and
You
Let
Better?
My Love.
You Better, You Bet.
No, I had...
Let My Love Open the Door.
Yeah. And then Black Sabbath put out their first Dio album.
Interesting
in
how
1980.
Ozzy put out a record and Black Sabbath put out a record
Right.
the same year. Chilling.
The Black Sabbath Dio was not as good as the AC/DC switching singers, but Dio added something different to the Black Sabbath and kept it going.
I can't tell Dio Sabbath from just plain old Dio.
Yeah, well, he
love
brought
Randy James
his.
Dio too, by the way, but I just don't know that he. I don't know why you would keep calling it Black Sabbath without Ozzy in it. That's just weird to me. But
Well, you're one of those ones that didn't
they didn't
let
call
it go.
Van Hagar and Black Dio, did they? I mean, no. It just to me it was great. Heaven and Hell. It's a phenomenal song, but it was like that could have been you and me playing bass and guitar behind that. To me, that was all Dio. It didn't really sound like a Sabbath song. It sounded like a Dio song.
Well, Dio writes about dragons and kingdoms and sword fights.
Yeah.
And...
So he knows about the Neil Peart dice. He was, by all accounts, like the nicest guy ever. And you know what happens to nice guys? They die. They dickheads like Keith. I don't know if Keith Richards is a nice guy or not. But,
For some reason, I don't think he is.
well, look at him. He's just going forever, like the Energizer fucking bunny. But Dio and that other guy.
Dio, didn't they bring him back in hologram concert here in town?
More power to him. If that's it. That's your thing. So in 1980, I was in the 10th grade.
I was graduating from college.
You were. I think you had just gotten.
I just got my doctorate.
You had just gotten your silver sneakers membership card to get a discount at the YMCA, where you just went for the showers. Apparently, you didn't even work out. You just sort of like hung out there until you got all shrivelly.
No, I was a junior in 11th grade.
And
I was a junior in 1980. I was a junior in 11th grade.
Tell us more.
Oh.
When were you a senior? Oh, that'd be 12th grade.
I like to be redundant.
Which year? Which junior year it's referring to now?
Oh.
I got nothing else for 1980. And
I don't either.
Have you seen the clock? I think we're good.
That's why I said wrap it up.
Oh,
I
I
gave
thought
you
you
the
meant-
wrap it up signal.
I thought that meant give more. Oh my God.
You got no more to give.
I didn't. About a half hour ago, I didn't. That's funny. What would this? Oh, this is more. This is. I'm embarrassed. All right. Well, let's just cut all that shit out there and say, hey, Mark, thanks. I thought this is the best 88th episode that we could ever do.
How can people get a hold of us, Jim?
I don't know. Oh, you can send us an email at TheAscertainers@gmail.com. Highland, New York. Would love to hear from you. And then whoever it is from the Scorpions who listens to us in Germany, just send us an email. Tell us which one you are. And then Stockholm, we just assume that's Bjorn Borg.
And you can like us on Facebook, share us with a friend.
Is that a thing? Are they have permission to share us with a friend? Hopefully she's...
Share our Facebook site with a friend.
Yes, Paige.
Oh, well, thank you. That's two.
Paige is a friend.
Oh, Paige.
Sure.
And you can get a hold of us on any platform you listen to us on.
Yeah.
We're going to jump out of this one. So good night.
Good night.